Hey, it's Friday night, time for some straight talk. This is your host, Matt Hasley, coming at you. We've got the next 2 hours live. We're broadcasting on 4 platforms at the same time, so it's going to be a little confusing here. Tons and tons and tons of stuff going on in the news. I want to start out with a little bit of sports here. On the golf news, Tiger withdrew from the British Open, or the Open Championship as they like to call it. So I was kind of expecting that. I didn't think he was going to be making his debut back to the tour as the Open Championship. Hope to see him back before the PGA so we can play in that. Jason Day takes the lead at the Bridgestone Invitational. And Rory McIlroy, he, they said, roared back to a 5-way share for the lead at the French Open. Right now, we got Wimbledon going on. I don't know what happened with the one chair umpire or whatever it is, and one. But it was a long. I kind of flashbacks to John McEnroe. That's what I could think of, arguing with the chair umpire. You don't see that so much anymore nowadays, with the computerized in and out. But apparently, he was pissed. I watched it a little bit of it on TV. Was up. We didn't have the sound down because we're a little busy at work. But yeah, I don't know exactly what happened there. But one thing that came up in the news, and a lot of people for golf news, was what they thought about. It was the withdrawal for Berger, for how he withdrew out of the tournament. He in the world, the WGC Invitational is it doesn't matter what they play, what position, if they just play in the tournament, they make $50,500. It's an invite. It doesn't matter what, if they get knocked out in the first round because it's match play. Well, he had his first tee shot, and he said he had shoulder injury, walked off. If he wouldn't have teed off, he wouldn't have got anything. So he hit his tee shot, went and conceded his match, made $50,000, and off he went. A lot of people were saying, was that right? Was it wrong? It's hard to turn down $50,000 like that for just hitting a tee shot. Was he really injured? I don't know. I mean, it's just he's not one of these guys that's got the big, $50 million sponsor check like Tiger, and Rory McIlroy and Spieth and Day, who got the big, huge contract. So, for him to sit there and make $50,000 for just hitting one tee shot, I mean, can you blame him? Hell, I'd hit one tee shot too for the same thing. But a lot of people were questioning about it. They thought, they didn't think it was right, because it took the money out of the, the mouth of another player that was healthy, that could have played. I agree with him there, but you put yourself in that situation. What would you have done? Berger, for do that, I don't recall that anybody that after one shot doing that. It's I hate to see them take the because they used to have the sponsors exemptions, and for the longest time, a lot of the players they wanted to do is get rid of the sponsors exemptions, the qualifying spots for they call them rabbits, and rabbits are the guys who try to qualify every Monday, and now they've got it so restrictive now where you have to make a qualifier to do the qualifying because they don't want to get out there and have somebody shooting 100 and having no real serious chance of qualifying. What's the difference? If you got a qualifying to do the qualifier, what difference does it make? So, it's some of the tour players think that, they ought to take that and, give 2 more spots or 4 more spots to regular tour players. Well, this is what makes the tour so exciting is you look at, all the different players that have gone. You look at Tiger. Tiger, he didn't have to qualify. He went through sponsor exemption. So but he's not the one that I hear chiming that. But you got guys that go through Q school and guys that go, Monday morning or Monday qualify. I caddied for one who Monday qualified, and once he made it on tour, he was on tour for his whole career, and he's on the Champions Tour now. So, it's he's won a major tournament, won the PGA, and it's one of those deals where I hate to see him take it away. I understand how the tour evolves and stuff like that, but it gives that no-name guy, who really works on his game, a chance to do is a strike at lightning, to go out there and play with the big boys by making it in a local qualifier. It's tough to do. It's teed up, shoot your best, and if you don't walk, you're done. It's $400. They take 4 spots, and I caddied for Mark Brooks when he was first qualifying out of college. He shot 64 and was low by 4. I mean, it just, you look at that, and that's awesome to be able to do that. Not a lot of guys can sit there and right out of the gate go and have to play and shoot that kind of score. It's a tough thing to do. I've tried to qualify several times, not been successful. I have friends of mine that have qualified and been successful, then made the cut at the tournament. So it's it's one of those things where you get a chance to try to be one of the big tour events. If you're a golfer, that played high school and college or whatever golf, and you dream of golf, everybody's dream is as a golfer, is to win the Masters. If you watch Caddyshack and you think about that Cinderella story, and Cinderella boy, it's one of those deals where it's a dream. But you're looking at right now, we got 2 players for sure out of the Rio Olympics, and Spieth is borderline on the fence whether he's going to go. You think about that. He says he's unsure if he'll play. Well, Rory and Jason Day have both pulled out of the Rio Olympics. The Olympics is having a little bit of problem. I mean, with the Zika virus, it's not just that. They're coming out now, and they're having a water problem. I mean, and it's drinking water problem. Their water is filthy. There was an article that came out in the news, and it says that they're having severe water pollution. And this article came out on the CBS Evening News. So, I mean, not just to put Zika on top of it, and they go, they can drink bottled water. Yeah, but, I mean, that's a lot for them to have to deal with. You sit there and they're talking about, it's 5 weeks before the start of the Olympics in Rio. Police say a mutilated body washed up on Copacabana Beach, where the beach volleyball competition will be held. I mean, think about that. The horrific discovery comes as Olympic organizers deal with a bunch of different problems, including severe water pollution in the venues for sailing, rowing, and other water sports. They said one of the biologists, Mario Moscatelli, is the man behind the camera who documenting Rio's vast water pollution problem for the past 20 years. He hoped the Olympics wouldn't force Rio to clean it up, or would force them to clean it up. He goes, we've had 7 years and our authorities didn't do almost anything because this is a toilet, he said, pointing at the water. Raw sewage still floats from Rio's poor neighborhoods right into the water. He said, in the marina where the Olympic sailors will launch their boats, he says a giant plume of sewage streams into the water. Said Rio's waters were found to contain viruses up to 1.7 million times more hazardous than a beach in the U.S. He said the problem is just not sewage, it's also trash. Tons of it floating in the bay. And some athletes say they're worried about running into it. We've seen it some other boats that they've collided with it, maybe some chair. It could be anything. Oceanographer David Z and Brazilian government promised to install 8 treatment plants on Rio's polluted rivers. They built 1. They promised to treat 80% of the sewage flowing into the Guanabara Bay, and only are treating about half. It says Z said if he had to grade the job the government has done to clean up the water, give him a D. The water continues in the bad shape, he said. He said the problem is the sewage systems because it's not easy. It's very expensive, he said. And for Olympic Games, there's a problem with the surface of the bay and the place where the games will be. But, I mean, you think about that. You have to sit there and, be rowing. And who knows, you might be rowing in debris. I'm just real surprised they haven't gone all out to take care of this. So, it's and even the freaky thing is the body washes up on the shore. How would you like to, or how would it have been if the games would have been going on? And you're sitting there watching the volleyball game, and all of a sudden a body floats up on shore. Tell me how freaked out would the athletes be if that happened? I said, if it happened once, I mean, it very possibly could happen again. I said, that's not something that happens all the time. At least I would hope it doesn't. People talk about, I'd love to go to Rio and all this. Well, right now with the Zika virus and all, the water problems that they're having, I'm sorry. I wouldn't want to be going over there right now. Oh, Cubs are rain delays coming out again. It's top of the 6th inning. This because in the books, if they wash it out, Cubs are down 10-1. Looking real ugly for them. They're playing the Mets. So, yep, they're just putting the tarp out. This is the second rain delay. So, other sporting news is Wimbledon's going on right now. This weekend, I enjoy watching Wimbledon. I think the grass is so cool to playing on grass. But I just going to be tough to beat the Serena. She got 21 major titles. I'm like, that's impressive. So I don't know. I've been tweeting Rory McIlroy and Jason Day trying to get them to come to the John Deere Classic. I've tweeted both of them multiple times. Apparently, either they're not seeing them, because I'm sure they get tons of tweets per day. I just need to step up the tweeting campaign. So if you want to do is tweet Rory McIlroy and Jason Day and ask them to come to the John Deere Classic. Tell them there's another tournament going on besides the Olympics, that we don't have to worry about the Zika virus. So, in other news, and it's kind of hard not to talk about it. I got my little booklet here. We're talking about topics for tonight's show. But, with the 4th of July coming up, we got, all the stuff going on about, with, we got threats for the 4th of July currently going on in Bangladesh. They had they had a hostage situation in a restaurant. It says Bangladesh security forces were preparing to free around 20 hostages, including several foreigners, from a restaurant in upmarket area of the capital, of Dhaka. Early Saturday, after gunmen stormed the building, killing at least 2 policemen. So hopefully they can, resolve the situation with the, is least amount of loss of innocent lives. But there has been threats to the homeland of the United States of around the 4th of July. Anytime you get around the holiday, you have, I don't know what you call it, enhanced presence, because you get these idiots that think that they, this is I don't know what you want to call it, a time for them to exert their influence over society or whatever. Well, you get, with it being the American Independence Day, July 4th, it's, and it happens to be my mom and dad's 60th wedding anniversary, so you get pretty impressive. It says, but there's an article that went out. It says, is there a Islamic State threat for the Americans celebrating 4th of July this weekend? The United States, actually Monday. According to the Chatter ISIS terrorist channels, yes. Site Intel and International Terrorism Watchdog Group reports that jihadists have warned in alleged attacks at LAX, JFK, and London Heathrow airports this weekend. So, they've been stepping up security at probably most airports. I would hope they are. And they, if you see something, say something. That's the how they're putting it out. If you see something that's suspicious, that doesn't look right, say something. I would much rather have, police or, whatever department it is that's going to handle it, respond and find out it's nothing than to go, that's nothing, and then it be something. And I know that if you saw something that was, violence going out or something like that, or something that looked like just didn't add up, and you didn't call and let it go by, you would probably feel a little bit, I think you would feel bad. I know I would. But right now we're broadcasting on multiple platforms. We got, let me see if we got it here. We're live on Twitter.com. And we're live on Ustream TV and TuneIn and Spreaker.com. So if you'd like to join me on Twitter, you can do so. I'm broadcasting on Periscope. So if you go to open the Periscope app, you can watch the videos live, see me there. Let me see if open up my TweetDeck. Oh, and also, you know what? It helps if I, what I'm going to have to do is, I got to forward my phone lines. I forgot to forward my phone lines. So this might be a little tricky here. I got it on the tripod. So if you see a little movement going around here. Let's see here. So if you'd like to call in live to the show, you can do so by calling 1-866-225-5401. Oh. No. I got to get it back live. I forwarded my phone lines and it there we go. And it ended the broadcast. So next time I'll have to do that ahead. All right, so it's under. I just put it under Straight Talk with Matt. So if you look on Twitter, you can see it live there. But be safe. If you're out there, and also if you bought fireworks and stuff like that. I can't think of he's a football player that actually blew up his hand. I think he lost like 2 fingers out of it. He's doing PSAs for the NFL now for fireworks. So if you're out there lighting off fireworks this weekend or Monday, just make sure you be a little extra safe when you're doing that. Come back with all your fingers and like that, because you don't want to sit there and blow your hand off. Some of this stuff I couldn't believe. Normally they don't have fireworks around here, but they got this place around here you can go across, and I just go across the river and both of them are legal. And these things are unreal. It's almost like I'm buying the real thing they're lighting off, for the big fireworks. These things go up and boom. They're loud. I'm just shocked at how much how nasty these things are. But yeah, when you're out there this weekend and you're lighting off fireworks and everything and having your little cookouts and stuff, be a little extra safe. Try to keep away from the kids, make sure nobody gets injured. But it's have a lot of fun doing it. Make sure not too much of the cerveza with it. Be careful, because that's usually what happens. You see somebody get drinking a little bit too much, blow their friend up with a little M80 action. But one of the biggest things in the news, and it's been on every talk show, and I'm sure I'm gonna talk about it, is Loretta Lynch meeting with Bill Clinton. But before we get into that, I wanted to ask anybody, and if you're following me on Twitter, if you're on here Twitter right now, broadcast my show Straight Talk with Matt Hasley. I broadcast Mondays and Fridays on Arm Radio Global. So if you're just tuning in, I got some visitors on Twitter. Tell me what your view or what your thoughts is. You can just hashtag a tweet, Arm Radio, and it'll pop up on the tweet deck that I got here. But what is your thought on with this Kuntzman? He was the one who talked about he fired the AR-15 and it, oh my God, it gave him temporary PTSD. Well, now he's come out and he's talked about how it God Bless America song at the 7th inning of baseball games is offending everyone. And tell me what your thought is about this guy, Kuntzman. He's a sports writer for some paper. I only want to give him credit for what paper he's with. But he's saying that they need to do is get rid of the God Bless America. That it offends everybody and the song is outdated and we need to get past the Americanism. And I'm like going, what is wrong with this guy? I don't know if he realizes originally baseball, what is America? Baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and what? Some people will say Chevrolet, some people will say Ford. But, whatever you, whatever it is that you, your vehicle choice. But, you think about that. This guy thinks they need to do is get rid of God Bless America. I'm like, how is that offending anybody? It has nothing to do with him. How many baseball games is he going to? And how hard is it for him to do is just ignore it? If you don't like something on TV, change the channel. Turn it off. Switch to something else. But it doesn't mean if you don't like something on TV, doesn't mean because you because you don't like it doesn't mean that everybody else should have to suffer for you. So it's crazy. This guy Kuntzman, he's been in the news for firing the AR-15 about what do you want to call it? PTSD, which I think is a mockery to soldiers who actually have it. You got soldiers that go over and fight in combat, and they get post-traumatic stress disorder when they come back, trying to be able to handle the situation. And this guy makes fun of it, trying to make light of, because he wants to do is push his agenda for gun control. And then you look at him coming out, and now he wants to do is get rid of God Bless America from baseball games from the 7th inning stretch. We've been the attack on our Constitution, our amendments, and everything has been so, I don't know what you want to call it. It seems like it's a constant attack where people are finally, just going, just shut up, let them, just rather than fighting for anything. There was a article that came out, and when I read it, I couldn't believe it. I was shocked when I read this. Let me see if I can find it was, and I was just like, I can't believe that we have gone to this level. We're so PC police afraid that anything that somebody says, it's like if you have a friend named Jack on an airplane, you say, "Hi, Jack," and they would go, "Oh my God, hi, Jack. Oh, let's arrest him." Well, so apparently, he said during the end of the class year party at a New Jersey elementary school, a 9-year-old boy said something about brownies and was subsequently questioned by a police officer who was called by the school to investigate an incident of racism. It was another student that accused the boy of saying something racist, but that boy's mother said he was talking about snacks, not skin color, according to Philly.com. He said they were talking about brownies. He said, who exactly did he offend? Said the mother, Stacy Dos Santos, asked incredulously. When the boy's father was contacted later in the day, he was informed that the matter was referred to the New Jersey Division of Child Protection and Permanency. It also reported that the boy stayed home for his last day of 3rd grade. But it appears that was just an overreaction from the school, as the mother described it. This is an actual protocol decided upon at an earlier meeting between the police department. Said representatives from the county prosecutor's office and school officials at William P. Tatum Elementary School in Collingswood. It was decided that any incident that could be deemed criminal should be reported to authorities. Even something as minor as simple name-calling incident at that school would typically handle internally, Police Chief Kevin Carey said. You're flippin' kidding me. After that meeting, it is noted that the officers were called more often than ever to investigate incidents. Sometimes as many as 5 incidents per day in the span of a month. Dos Santos said the incident had left her son traumatized and is looking to enroll in another school next year. I don't blame him. You ever heard of crying wolf? He said, I'm not comfortable with the administration at Tatum.